All right, guys, we have something new for you today, and it is the brand new FMS Toyota FJ Cruiser. I mean, guys, look at this rig. FMS did what they always do, and they come out with an amazing hard-bodied truck. The scale detail in here is really awesome, and especially for a ready-to-run. It looks amazing. The door handles actually function, and both doors completely open, and you get a full realistic scale interior. I mean, look at it. The seats are even cushiony in here. You have your steering wheel that functions and steers with the car. You have your selectable four-wheel drive. You have your gear shift here. You have all your knobs. You have 3 pedals. It just looks amazingly realistic. And the coolest part is these door handles function as they should. So if I get this closed all the way and do that in reverse, they actually go through. The rear hatch opens this way with the rear tailgate to show you your cargo area. You have plenty of room for your buddies, or you fold those up and you can store all of your camping gear in there. It's a really awesome feature. Go ahead and close this up. 1, 2, put that down. You have an opening functioning hood where it shows your electronics package. You have a 550 35 turn motor, metal geared servo, and a brushed ESC. Everything is up under the hood. We're talking metal C-channel frame, full bar bearings throughout. It's a great looking truck. I cannot wait to get this thing on the trail, get it through some paces, and see what it can do. But with this, I started thinking, and I want to pose a question to you guys. Do you want to see me scale this truck out? Like, should we do a full engine bay? Should we put a driver in it? Should we put some people in the back? Should we layer the upper roof rack with some luggage? I have some awesome pre-painted Pelican cases we can put in there. Or should we go the opposite way of what this truck was designed for and try to make it perform? Do we take these tires off and put on some performing crawler TAs? Do we try to put some weight up front? Do we take this system out, put a brushless system in it, maybe a Reefs RC servo, put a little weight where it needs to be, tighten up this suspension a little bit so it's not so hoppy, and see if we can hit some local hard lines? That's up to you guys. Post comments down below. Do we scale it out, or do we try to go performance and see how much abuse the FJ can take? I'm really excited to see what you guys think. Check out the running video. Thanks for stopping by. Oops. All right, guys, so we're back in the shop after running the FJ40 on the trail. Initial thoughts are the truck did pretty good. It did better than I was expecting, but there's a couple things I think I'd like to iron out. Number one is the throttle's a little punchy for me. It's very trigger happy. It's abrupt stopping, very fast to go, and I'd like to smooth that out a little bit. Maybe look at putting a little different ESC or maybe an all-in-one system in there. The suspension, it's way too soft. So I'm gonna take the shocks off, stiffen that up a grip, see if that'll slow it down a little bit. And then to base on your guys' decision if we're gonna go scale or not scale is what we're gonna do after that. But today, we are going to upgrade the servo as well. Obviously, stock servos in these are not as great, but since it's gonna be a trail truck, I picked up the Reefs RC HD422 along with the horn and a couple servo washers. So let's see how hard it's gonna be to install this servo in this behemoth of a rig. I did not clean it, so it is filthy from the trail run. We had a little bit of rain that day, so that was kind of fun, but let's get to it here. So I realized in this servo disassembly that there's actually 2 screws on top of the servo that hold it in, and then it actually wedges into the side of the C-channel frame. To make this easier on you, go ahead and start by removing the 2 front tires. I was trying to do it quickly for the video and did not do that, but as you see, we'll end up removing them now. I also realized that the tires are beadlock, so if you'd like to remove the tires off the wheels, you can actually run the stock wheels and put a different tire on there. You're going to go ahead and see 3 bolts on the frame rail that hold that whole front center section together. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and loosen those bolts up to give you a little bit of wiggle room to put that 422 HD into. I went ahead and just took the bolt off from the steering drag link because I'm not going to be reusing that stock horn, so I'm going to toss that whole system. It's up to you, but it'll be easier than trying to remove it from the drag link and then removing the servo horn. Most likely you wouldn't put that plastic servo horn back on. What I'm realizing here is that this is actually going to wedge into that system, and I'm going to need to loosen it up a little bit more. Once you have it all loosened up, you're going to realize that this system runs a Y from the RX 2-bowl servos, because there's a servo for steering and there's a servo that actually steers the scale steering wheel inside. So you're going to want to go ahead and connect to that Y, get your battery, plug your battery in, and then make sure your receiver and your remote are both centered at 0. And then you can go ahead and connect that new horn so that way everything's lined up at 0 and perfect. Once that new horn is connected, then what you're going to go ahead and do is go through the system and the process of making sure your endpoints are set correctly. What I always do is turn the rig upside down, have it facing me so I can see the tires, go full lock to the right and look at it and see if I'm overextending the servo. As you'll see in the video, it was definitely overextending in the beginning, and so was the left side. So if you have a programmable remote, you can go ahead and make those adjustments on left to right. With a remote that's ready to run like this, most of them you just make it as a whole. So I went back and reduced the steering dual rate until I felt it wasn't overthrowing the servo and putting additional stress on it. Once I was satisfied with that, I went ahead and buttoned everything back up, and you end up with a running truck with a much more powerful servo. I would imagine that servo was probably putting out 150 ounces, while the new one with the current ESC, you're getting 400 ounces of power. Obviously a significant improvement, and it's going to be very noticeable on the rocks. But that was our test and tune and first running video, along with the servo install for the new FMS FJ40. I really appreciate everybody watching. If you made it this far in the video, obviously you're a fan. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Turn it on so that way you get notifications in the next videos. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.